Meet Jane. Meet Jack. Jane and Jack were high school sweethearts. They fell in love, got married, and had 2 children. Sounds like the beginning of a typical love story, right? Boy meets girl, they fall in love, start a family, and live happily ever after. Well, it turns out that living happily ever after isn't as simple as it seems. Neither Jane nor Jack had parents who went to college. When they turned 18, they graduated from high school and went straight to work. They each have jobs that pay them $12 an hour. Together, they'll make $49,920 a year. Is this salary enough to make it in our great state of Texas? Let's look at the data. First, we'll review how the federal government defines poverty. Our federal poverty threshold is determined by multiplying the cost of food for each family member by 3. This measure was set in the 1960s. So what's changed since the 60s? Not just the cost of food, but also the cost of housing, child care, and transportation. To be considered poor by federal government standards, Jane and Jack's family of 4 would need to make less than $25,100 a year. This number is the same no matter where you live, New York City, Fort Worth, or rural Montana. So according to the federal government, Jane and Jack aren't poor. But what else does the data reveal? According to the MIT Living Wage Calculator, a family of 2 adults and 2 children in Texas needs to make about $60,985.60 per year to live, to pay for housing, transportation, food, child care, medical expenses, and other necessities. This is a no-frills estimate. It doesn't factor in things like replacing a broken refrigerator or buying Christmas presents. Jane and Jack are $11,065.60 short of hitting this basic sustainability mark. Despite making every effort possible to live within their means, Jane and Jack struggle to make ends meet, and it's easy to see why. But somehow, they were surviving until their son was diagnosed with a medical condition and the medication that he desperately needed wasn't fully covered by their insurance. They now have to pay $300 every month for this medicine, which amounts to $3,600 a year. For Jane and Jack, this amount isn't just inconvenient, it's life-altering. Jane and Jack start to look into government safety net programs that might be available for them as they deal with this crisis. First, they look into what we know as welfare, the Temporary Assistance to Needy Families Program, TANF. This program was retooled in 1997 by President Clinton. Many believe that once someone is on welfare, they can stay on welfare for the rest of their lives. This is not true. The biggest outcome of Clinton's welfare reform was that families were limited to only receiving welfare for 60 months, or 5 years, during their entire lives. If Jane and Jack qualify for TANF from the state of Texas, their family of 4 could receive as much as $357 a month. This could make a real dent in their situation, so they decide this is an option worth exploring. They both take unpaid time off work to meet with a benefit coordinator, as these offices are only open during regular work hours. Unfortunately, the loss of income they incurred by missing work was for naught. They learned that they make too much money to qualify. Next, they look at food stamps, the SNAP program. This program is more generous, offering aid to families of 4 that make less than $40,596 a year. But still, Jane and Jack earn too much to qualify. Okay, so what about Medicaid benefits? They look into this and find that to qualify, they need to earn less than $49,698, and their income is just $222 more than this. Surely their children will be eligible for CHIP, the Children's Health Insurance Program, right? This is a bit more generous than Medicaid, a family of 4 being eligible if their yearly income is less than $50,702. But CHIP considers assets, and Jane and Jack own 2 cars that they need to get to work. These assets exclude them from CHIP. Because Jane and Jack's annual income is well above the federal poverty line, they are unable to access the life-changing public benefit programs and nonprofit services that they so desperately need. What Jane and Jack learn is that if they want government assistance, the best option is for Jane to actually quit her job. She can stay home with the kids and reduce the cost of child care. With Jack's income at just over $24,960, they will finally be deemed poor enough to qualify for federal aid. Once their public benefits are combined with the reduced cost of gas and child care, Jane and Jack may actually end up better off than they were before. Is this what we as a nation intend to do? To actually encourage people to become less self-sufficient in order to receive the aid they need? To teach people that the only way they can survive in our country is to cast aside their sense of responsibility, dignity, and self-respect? This is the solution that our country provides to thousands of families, just like Jane and Jack's, every year. A solution that does nothing to actually solve poverty. Enough is enough. We simply have to do better. We need to provide real solutions that will help people in poverty actually escape for good.